All right, so let's go ahead and hit the Tab key, and that will move us over to the data type column. Now the default data type is text, but there are a whole bunch of data types available. Let's take a quick look at them now, and we'll talk more about them in a little bit. Let's click on this down arrow right here and take a look at what we have. We have text. Text is basically any printable character. ABC, 1, 2, 3, the exclamation point, the period, the parentheses. Pretty much all the printable characters on the keyboard can be text fields. Now text fields only go up to 255 characters long, and we'll talk about that in our next Access course. But that's where memos come into play. Sometimes you might want to store a whole bunch of information in one of your fields. You can use a memo for that. A memo is basically a big text field. Then we have numbers. Numbers are essentially numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3, and so on. 4.6, these can all be numbers. The DateTime data type stores dates or times or both. So you can store something like January 1st, 1980, or you can store 6:22 p.m., or you can store December 15th at 6:22 p.m. So a DateTime data type can store a date or time or both together. The currency data type is a special data type that is optimized for storing dollar values. So if you're going to be storing anything related to money, use a currency type. Auto numbers are a special kind of number that start at 1 and then automatically count up with each new record. So for example, your first customer would be customer number 1, the second customer would automatically get 2, and so on. These are great for tracking numbers, and we'll talk more about auto numbers in a few minutes. Yes, no values, well, it's basically yes or no. True or false, on or off. If you want to store something like, is this customer still active? Use a yes or no field. An OLE object, does anybody know what OLE stands for? It stands for Object Linking and Embedding. Do you have to remember that? Absolutely not. Essentially, an OLE object is pretty much anything in Windows that you can copy and paste. That's what I could tell students to remember it by. It can be a picture. It can be a sound file. It can be a Word document. Anything you can copy or paste can be pasted into an OLE object. Generally, they're used for pictures, maybe sound clips. I have one customer that likes to keep their employee pictures in their employee table in an OLE object. Hyperlinks are useful for linking you to other locations. They can be email addresses or web pages or links to other documents. And the lookup wizard. I think the lookup wizard is an evil wizard, so we're going to skip the lookup wizard today. We will talk about the lookup wizard in a future course. So looking at this big long list of data types, which one do you think is best for the first name field? I would have to go with text. So let's pick text and press Tab.